Hello, dear students. Welcome to the online lesson. I'm Nargiza, a teacher of the Tashkent State Agrarian University. Dear students, today we'll talk about one of the amazing and incredible places of the planet. And as you see on the screen, topic for today is coniferous forest. And I hope during the lesson you will get very interesting factual information about the coniferous forest biome. Let's get started. At first, let's have a look at the word biome. What does it mean? Biome is an area of the planet that can be classified according to the plants and animals that live in it. In other words, it's a major ecological community that adapted to a particular climatic and environmental conditions. And moreover, temperature, soil, water, and the amount of light helps them to live, to survive, in short, to exist in a biome. And there are several types of biomes in the world, and some of them you can see on the screen. For instance, ocean biome and desert biome and the forest biome. And dear students, coniferous forest is also a type of biome that's seen all over the globe. And now we are going to get information about coniferous forest. Coniferous forest is made up almost of conifers, which means, and pay attention and look at this picture, conifers are cone-bearing trees that have needle-like leaves. It means instead of leaves, they have what? Needles, and they stay green all year long. And another name of conifers are evergreen trees. And for additional information, the 1/3 of all the world's forests are coniferous forests, and they are found in northern part of North America, Europe, and Asia. And for additional information, some of the best known conifers are pine trees, spruce trees, and fir trees. And later we'll come back to this topic and we'll talk about conifers. And the next slide is about climate. Now we are going to get information about the climate of coniferous forest. And dear students, the climate of coniferous forest depends on their location. Here you see the three types of different locations. And the first was temperate coniferous forests are found in areas with temperate weather. It means plenty of rainfall, cool winters, and summers are warm. Here is given a picture of temperate coniferous forests. And the tropical and subtropical coniferous forests are found in areas with tropical latitude. And that makes their climates more humid, more wet. And the last is boreal forest. Here is given a picture. Taiga is an example for boreal forest. And here you see how it looks like the taiga in winter. It spans from Siberia to Canada and has extremely cold and long winters with summers ranging from mild to extremely hot. And summers last 3 months. And now, dear students, we are going to get information about the soil. The type of soil found in coniferous forest is called, as you see, podzol. The soil is light in color and very acidic and has a humus layer where many fungi grows. And fallen leaves are able to survive for a long time because of the cold and wet climate. And an amazing place has a tremendous variety of plants and animals. As I told you, they adapted to their regions and to the particular climatic and environmental conditions. And now we will talk about some of the best known conifers. Coniferous trees include black spruce. Here is given a picture that name it for its dark colored leaves. And this tree is common in parts of North America and boreal forest in taiga. And white spruce, it's like black spruce, and with light leaves and trunk. The next one is larch. These trees are small but incredibly durable. It means, and the varieties can be found in the coldest part of the boreal forest. And lodgepole pine, here you can see, this kind of species of conifer is found in North America. Now we'll continue to talking about the conifers. The next one is yew. Here is given a picture. Yew is found in parts of Europe and Asia, and they can grow to be thousands of years old and are poisonous. And the red cedar found in the location all over the world, typically more like bush. And bonia pine, it's a big tree and found in Australia. And its wood is used for a variety of purposes. And the next is, here is, you see, eastern white pine. These trees can grow very old and they are found in North America. And their students, last tree, Coniferous, balsam fir, found in North America, and it's best known for being used as a Christmas tree. And coniferous forests are home for a large number of animal species, from tiny microbes to large bears. Rodents. Rodents, here you see mice, squirrels, and chipmunks are common in coniferous forests. You can see them there. Crossbill, some of the best known bird is a crossbill, and this bird is able to eat the cone seed of conifers. And the Canada geese, you can see these birds in North American forests. And the caterpillars are typical of any foreign forest regions, and certain varieties can be harmful. And the last one is Engelmann spruce bark beetle. These beetles also can be incredibly destructive to these trees. And now we are going to talk about the big animals. Grizzly bears, as you see, here is given a picture, and black bears are common in coniferous forests. And they hibernate over the winter in order to survive dropping temperatures and less available food. And the next animal is a chamois. Chamois is similar to a goat and found on mountainous forests in Europe. And the last and very beautiful animal is a bobcat. Bobcat is North America's most common wild cat and is named because of short and bobbed tail. And dear students, now we are going to watch a short video about coniferous forest biome. And it's better to see once than hear 1,000 times.
We are in the coniferous forest biome right at the moment, and it is amazing. There are a lot of coniferous forests in the United States, all over the world, and you might think that because it's so common, they're not that cool. But these things are adapted to extreme conditions. Not only that, if you want to find the biggest tree, then you go out west. You find the coastal redwoods. Or you get up into the mountains and the bristlecone pines. A bristlecone pine is the oldest tree in the world. If the deciduous trees can't cut it, these guys usually can. Now, let me show you some of the neat things about this particular forest. There are a few adaptations that coniferous trees have to dealing with these harsh conditions. For instance, if you look at the needles on these trees, they're covered by a cuticle, which is a waxy coating that helps prevent moisture from leaving the leaves. And that's because, well, oftentimes it's really dry. I mean, we're talking about harsh conditions. They have to make sure that they don't lose all of the water. Also, out in a habitat like this, it's super sandy, the water is not right at the surface. So these longleafs, for instance, have taproots that go down like 40 feet down into the ground. I mean, that's amazing. They can tap into that water table way down there. Also, pine trees have needles and they're full of chemicals, basically tannins, that make it not very yummy to eat. All right, let's now talk general biodiversity. If you can't tell, this is a unique looking environment and you might not think there's a lot here, but there's over 900 plant species that live in the understory of these longleaf pines. There are 31 species of snakes that live here. Yeah. It's crazy. In part because of these dominant longleaf pines and the habitat that they exist in, with holes for burrows and things that live in the burrows and things that live on the things that live in the burrows. I mean, there's just a whole lot going on here in this habitat. Finally, just the one thing I'd like to bring up is that these habitats are really fire adapted. So everything that you're looking at, they're going to be scorched. The trees, they can handle the fire. The pine cones that drop down often need fire to germinate and regrow and resprout. And it also helps eliminate competition for them. And if you take away the fire, like Europeans have done in the past, well, then other things start growing there. This habitat would not look this way without fire. And humans have been here for thousands and thousands of years spreading fire, so it's looked this way for a long time. And if you take fire out, it changes the habitat. In fact, it turns it into a different biome completely, the deciduous forest biome. If you have a chance to come to a coniferous forest, you gotta do it. If it's not a longleaf like this, then, you know, out west, up in the mountains, up north, out in the southwest, they're everywhere, they really are. And they're just the coolest things to learn about. And once you get to know them, then you realize that. I hope you enjoyed this video. We have stuff on all of the biomes, links to that down in the description. So I hope you're enjoying this. Maybe you're using it for class, or maybe you're just learning online with me. I need to take some more pictures.
Well, in grammar part, now we are going to look at two modal verbs, should and must. At first, we'll learn how to formulate these modal verbs and then when to use it. At first, look at the grammatical structure of these two modal verbs. At first, you should, of course, put the subject and then modal verb, and then comes what? Main verb. And how we should use. Here is given some tips that you can use them during making some sentence with the modal verbs. The first is, they are always followed by the infinitive without to. Let me give some examples. I should do, or you must study. And the next is, they are the same for all pronouns. It means you should use the same modal verb with all pronouns. Let me give, I should, she should, or they should. You must, he must, or we must. And the last one that you should pay attention is they don't take any auxiliaries, any helping verbs, and they take direct, negative, and question forms. To make the negative form of two modal verbs, you should just use not after should and must. I should not, the short form will be I shouldn't, and she must not, the short form is she mustn't. And to make the question form, of course, dear students, as you see here, you should put should and must in the first place, and then a subject, and then main verb. And now let's get information about when we should use modal verb should. We use should to give advice or recommendation or a suggestion. And let me give some examples. You should see this film. It's great. It means I recommend you to watch this film because it's very interesting. And the final exam is next week. You should study for it now. It's like advice or suggestion. You should study because of your exams. And the last is to express a situation is likely in present, in the future. It might be expectation or prediction. Let me give some examples. She should be at home now, or it should be rain tomorrow. Now we're going to talk about modal verb must, when we should use these modal verbs. The first is to express obligation and a duty. These are also refers to complying with rules, laws, and regulations. Let me give some examples to this situation. She must pass the English exam. No, second one is you must wear a seat belt at all times. It means that when you are in your car, you should wear a seat belt at all times. And let me give another example. You mustn't smoke in a plane. Mustn't we use while we are talking about something that is forbidden? And the next is to emphasize the necessity of something. Something is necessary or something is needed. And for example, plants must have light and water to grow. And the next is when you are sure, certain that something is true, based on evidence. I must say, you look perfect. And the last is that you should pay attention to make assumption or to reach a logical conclusion about something that's very likely to be true. And let me read the given example. You must be so tired after running that marathon. This means I assume that you are so tired. I hope these situations given the examples will help you to understand these two modal verbs. And dear students, as you see, here is given a task for you. You should do this task by yourself. Just you will complete the given sentence using should, shouldn't, and mustn't. Let me show the first one. We invite the nurses to our party. They are nice people. Because they are nice people and good people, you should the positive form of the modal verb should. And do this task and send me through the Telegram. Dear students, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and thanks for the attention. Thanks for your watching the online lesson and see you next lesson. Have a nice day. Goodbye.